I know you're a big fan of my grandpa's stories.
I am. I'm a good fan of your grandpa in general.
And usually when he like tells these stories, I'm on his side.
Oh, no.
This is like
He's the anti-hero in this one.
He's very much so.
Or the villain.
Or maybe just an insane person.
Okay. He's usually insane, but like I guess also the hero.
So he used to be in the Navy.
Okay.
And he was on like a ship for months at a time.
He's done a lot of stuff, but okay.
Certainly more than me.
Yeah, me too.
And you weren't allowed to have any cats on the boat or like pets in general.
Okay, right. I thought it was specifically not cats, but okay.
Well, he had a cat.
Yeah,
I don't know what the rule was. Like maybe you're allowed a bird or something.
Okay.
But cats were definitely
How
banned.
many birds are you allowed?
A minimum of 1,000 jackdaws was
yes.
acceptable.
Good.
You can raise them
A
for
minimum.
your Navy army.
Can you imagine? We should start putting pet minimums in for people that we don't want to move in. It's like instead of being like, no, we don't want your type, pets are banned.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I don't want your type. You can move in here, but the minimum is 1,000 dogs.
I would hope they've got a big property if that's the case.
No, it's just like it'll be so uncomfortable for you to live here. You'll move on.
Well, because like dogs are big animals. Like I thought you were gonna. Like I was thinking when you said the word 1,000.
Yeah.
I was picturing.
Like mice.
Yeah.
No.
Like I remember walking into a friend of a friend's apartment. They were breeding rats.
Oh,
and like
yeah, that's scary.
every corner of the apartment was like filled with these tubs.
Yeah.
And they
of
were just
baby rats.
They were just squeaking because there's like stacks of rats in there.
Oh, rats on rats on rats.
There was
Did you think that at the time?
stacks on stacks and rats on rats.
Oh.
All right. Anyway, back to the ship. So my grandpa, he's working in the Navy. He's got a cat when you're not supposed to. Mm-hmm. But I guess when you're like 1,000 kilometers out to sea, it's kind of hard to get rid of the cat. So the commanding officers just had to pretend like they didn't see the cat whenever it was around. Tiger, he called it.
Oh, cute.
And so
Where did... no, don't worry.
where did the name come from?
No, like where did this cat like live and how did he hide it? I've got so many like questions. Like,
I'm
did he
guessing-
hang out in his like bunk room?
Yeah,
or-
probably. I'm guessing he wasn't that well hidden, but they're like, well, one cat will like look the other way on. It's just the rules are there, so all
Everyone
of a sudden,
doesn't bring a cat.
Yeah.
Where did the cat come from?
I imagine it like Titanic. It won a poker hand and ended up on the ship.
See, I like to think conscription.
Okay. What position in the Navy would you give it?
I don't really know. Lieutenant. I don't know. I don't know the ranks.
Yeah, I was like, I got to make a great cat pun here, but then I realized I don't know Navy or
The thing about the Navy is a lieutenant. There you go.
There we
First officer. I don't know.
first officer. Is that what? No.
Get out of town. So he was there because in my mind, I've kind of got the image in my mind that he's like marking the days on the wall.
Well, if you're the cat and you just like
Looking
follow
at a
my
little
grandpa onto
Picture
the
of
boat,
his cat fiance in his wallet.
yeah, you don't understand that it's like, oh, you're not going to see land for 3 months.
Or does it?
Well, it.
If I know what cats love, it's water.
So they pull up to port one day.
Yeah.
And like grandpa's mangy cat, it spies on the like another ship, like this beautiful Persian cat.
Oh, really?
And so like
Sounds like there's more cats in the Navy than one would suspect.
everyone's looking the other way. You're
Yeah.
allowed to have one cat.
I
guess.
just feel like, again, it's very much the don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah. And so Tiger is like, you know, eyes are bulging and it's like, oh my God, I've got to
Hit
find
the
my
jackpot.
way.
Yeah.
Got to go over,
But the floor is literally lava.
seduce this other cat. And so as they're like pulling into port, Tiger just jumps a little too early. It can't
Oh,
wait.
no. Classic.
And so it misses the boat and just ends up in the water
Oh, this sounds like you in Super Mario.
every time. And so Grandpa's like, all right, I got to go like rescue this cat. He finds a rope to like lower down to hopefully the cat can
I'm like,
climb up.
hold on. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have thought so, but okay.
So yeah, he's like lowering the rope and the cat can't get a grip on it.
Yeah.
So he ties like a knot in one end, like throws it back down, and
He hung
like
the cat, didn't he?
thankfully not. The cat
Oh,
gets
God.
its
Okay.
claws into it just as it's about to collide with the dock. So
Oh my
he's like
God.
just nearly avoiding like being squished together
Yeah.
with like the other boat and the other dock and
Oh
stuff.
my God.
But now the cat's like sopping wet.
Yeah.
And so Grandpa's like, well, we got to find a way to dry this cat off.
Oh my God. Why? The air is not fine?
It was probably a cold Irish day at sea or something.
All right.
I mean, I don't know where they were, but seemingly he was like, I gotta figure out how to get Tygus. And
I mean, obviously the war was not as busy as I've been led to believe.
I mean, there's some downtime.
Yeah, seemingly a lot. Like, they made it sound like this generation are really heroes, but they obviously had time to be drying cats.
Yeah, maybe the Navy should have started paying some more. I don't know what to tell you. So he takes him to his friend who like is in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Oh no!
And
do they cook the cat?
They put it in the oven.
Why?
Because it's a heat source, and that'll get your cat dry.
Is madness.
Well, I think what the part is madness is then Grandpa wanders away.
The whole thing is madness. What? How high did they put it on?
I mean, he didn't tell me that part, but he came back like 15 minutes later, is like checked in on the cat, and then his friend is like, "Oh fuck the cat!"
Oh my god!
He opens the oven door, and the cat just like sprints off.
Oh, okay, so it survived.
It was alive, but it was warm to say the least.
Imagine that day from the cat's point of view.
It's been through a lot.
Yeah. That's workplace bullying.
I mean, at minimum, I feel like torture almost.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you just forget, though, that you put a cat in the oven. Like, if I did that, I'd be like...
I mean, you're saying that, but the insane part has already passed, in my opinion.
Which was?
Like, I shouldn't be forgetting putting a cat in the oven. Because
you shouldn't put it in the oven?
Have I done...
Yeah, no, valid point.
I'm like, have I had a hit to the head? That would only explain this series of events. Like, how could you forget a cat in the oven? I'll tell you how. I never put a cat in the oven.
Right.
That's fucking insane.
No, I have to hope that everyone in the story was blind drunk or something, because that's the only explanation
I'm
that
like,
makes sense.
Again, this is the greatest generation that apparently like beat back the evil in Europe, and they're fucking accidentally cooking cats.
Yeah. I mean, you can do two things at once, I guess.
I guess.
War was hell, and here is the evidence.
Yeah, war is murder.
Yeah.
Well, it just seems like they're like, we beat the Nazis, but we didn't want our cats to be too wet while we did it.
Maybe they took a few blows to the head while they were fighting the Nazis.
I mean, seemingly.
Yeah. So yeah, the cat runs off and they don't see it for like 3 days.
Yeah, I'm on the cat's side firmly.
Yeah, Grandpa definitely thought that was the last he'd seen of him.
3 days seems short, if anything, to forgive.
Yeah, but he says he walked into the common area one day, and like one of the other sailors is just like petting the cat like he's having the time of his life.
Yeah, well, I feel like I also would move on to another sailor. You would find a new owner. Yeah.
Yep, I will go for the one who does not put me in the oven.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah, usually I'm like, that was a wild ride, but I can see the logic to your plans, but I would have just got a towel in this instance.
Yeah, or like air dry is fine.
Yeah, there's probably several options better than put the cat in the oven.
That is mad. And like 2 people thought this was okay, is what blows my mind.
I know. And like both of them were like, the other guy's clearly got this, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to, relax a little.
Yeah.
Like at least 2 people knew this was happening, and no one was like, I'm not convinced this is the best idea.
Yeah, no, it raises just as many questions as
it answers.
Yeah.
Which I think it raises far more questions as it answers, because it certainly answers 0, is what I would say.
Fair enough.
Midnight Crisis.